The G7's rather ambitious plan to cap the prices of Russian oil has directly squared it off against OPEC Plus, a cartel of oil producing nations including Russia. OPEC producers, mainly Saudi Arabia, were reportedly miffed at the G7, comprising Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and the United States, for its aggressive bid to curb Moscow's revenues. They believe this could damage the market by blowing up oil prices significantly, but now it seems Washington has gone out of its way to dial down tensions. It all began when OPEC Plus announced a cut in its oil output in the first week of October to 2 million barrels per day beginning November. It said the move was a result of quote-unquote uncertainty that surrounds the global economy and oil market outlooks. Basically, what this is expected to do is drive up oil prices across the world. For context, the oil cartel, comprising 23 oil exporting nations, produces about 40% of the world's crude oil supply. Arguably, the biggest casualty of this output cut was the United States, which heads for midterms next month. Washington accused OPEC Plus of cutting output at Russia's behest, making it a political decision to boost Moscow's revenues. It went on an overdrive and said Washington's analysis showed that the cartel could have waited until the polls were over to cut their output levels. In fact, Chuck Schumer, leader of the Democrats in the US Senate, called the decision an quote-unquote appalling and deeply cynical action. Also, to control prices at home, the Biden administration released 15 million barrels of oil from the United States' emergency reserves. Here's where things get interesting. According to Reuters sources, OPEC anger about G7's price cap plan was among the reasons for its decision to cut output. An official was quoted as saying that OPEC producers have been assured by Washington they would be kept out of the price cap's purview, adding that it's just Moscow that is on their radar. The G7 price cap, slated to start on December 5th, aims to limit Moscow's ability to sell oil globally and fund its military invasion of Ukraine. According to reports, the United States is looking at capping Russian oil prices above $60 a barrel. This so as to disrupt Russia's global crude supply. Globally, this has been met with widespread skepticism because it would mean two things. First, it would create a massive supply problem affecting overall trade, and second, it would potentially deprive the world of 1 to 2% of the global oil supply amid high inflation. But the question is, will Russia actually be affected? The answer, much to the G7's disappointment, is no. A US Treasury official told Reuters that up to 80 to 90% of Russian oil will continue to flow outside the price cap mechanism if Moscow seeks to break the price cap rules, which it surely will. While the West tries to cut Russian revenues, Moscow is largely expected to duck it through its own ships and services. Besides, what Vladimir Putin was also able to do was offer massive discounts on Russian oil in markets like Asia and become the top oil supplier to countries like India and China. This was followed with a caveat though. Supplies will be cut off to countries who side with the G7's price cap proposal. A report by Mint quoted Indian government officials saying that India is not keen on siding with the G7 price cap since cheap Russian oil is what is helping them cope in the domestic market. Do you think the G7 price cap is dead on arrival? Do let us know in the comments.